Hello, hello, hello. Of course, just after I press that, I think to myself, oh, maybe I should check something out. That's what I was going to do. I was going to go over here. Hello, wonderful humans. How are you all doing? I've wandered off into the corner of a room because I'm a terrible, terrible house guest. The worst dungeon guest ever. That's me. Ah, dear. Go to the YouTubes over here. Make sure that oh, there's a little red notification on that computer. I don't need to pay any attention to that. Here we go. Yes. Make sure that there's a screen and it's working. Just spinning it for the moment. I'm sure it'll work in a second. Almost certainly. It's still spinning. Spin, spin, sugar. Is there any notifications on over here? No. That's just spinning though. Let's double check that it's there over here, shall we? YouTube. And then myself. Here's me. Just spinning. That's strange. Very strange. Let's double check. There we go. Maybe it's just my computer. Check that it's auto. I think it is. I think it's my download. Isn't that hilarious? So I was having terrible internet problems the other day because our internet provider basically ruined everything. So this is going to be peak scuff, I presume. Ultimate scuff, pure scuff, peak scuffage. Anyway, other than that, I hope people are doing well whenever you hear this. I hope you're having fun and the day is treating you nicely. My day has been fine. My week has been fine. Oh, my week's been pretty good. And there's been all kinds of bits and pieces. So today we're going to do a Hexcrawl, but first of all I'm going to ramble a bit, as is my wont. Yeah. Well, we're going to try and do a Hexcrawl anyway. I did have, as you all might have seen when we were first making all these characters, I did have, let me just, yeah. I did have this map that I was going to use. I might go back to using this map at some point, but I thought just a minute ago, because I never like to keep myself on the straight and narrow. I always kind of veer off at any moment. I've decided, but maybe I'll play around with the these Hexcrawl rules that we just done. And of course, no, I haven't set up any hotkeys or anything for Foundry, not Foundry, OBS. The reason being, well, A, I'm a slime, and slimes limited dexterity when it comes to that kind of thing. But more importantly, I sat down to do it, and at the moment I've got everything inside of a group that I need to turn on and off, right? And I thought, oh, cool. Well, if I just copy that scene, I can turn stuff on and off individually in each scene, and then hotkey in between those scenes. No, you can't. No, you can't do that. It's not a thing. So I gave up at that moment, and I will look at it again, just like I'll do lots of things again. But yeah, so of course the audio is coming from tabletop, the RPG audio thingy. Let's also check. I can't remember if I've got /GPT describe Hobbit. Was it send? No, not Seb. Send. Okay, right. So I don't have the I don't have my API key in here. So that's That's not something that I'll do whilst I'm on the stream. Maybe I'll do it. And I never really use it, but I have it kind of set up, if you see what I mean. As in, I always think about using it. The last thing that I really used ChatGPT for was generating tables for random tables, so like injury tables and stuff, and it was pretty good at that. I found it quite functional. So another Foundry key. Copy. Done. And that's kind of it, right? I use it for creating random tables, and that's it. But now I've just not put that in there. I don't know how any of this stuff works. It's all very exciting. So now if I turn this back on, I'm taking you nowhere, aren't I? You've got to imagine how dreadful those humans that I have to work with during the day feel when I'm this kind of this flighty. I was reading something the other day, not reading, watching, right? Something the other day about having ADHD and autism both at the same time, and how they kind of play off each other's things, and that seemed interesting. This entire thing about one of the things that they mentioned that I thought, oh, maybe, was how the chattiness versus the not chattiness, right? And how you know each one is an indicator of the other thing. But if you have both, you can end up in some kind of race condition where... Anyway, all very interesting. So yeah, okay, so that's the ChatGPT thing, right? You can just stick in your request and it'll go, oh look, here's an answer for you. Here's some stuff. In fact, this one looks like, as a hobbit, you're a member of a small, peaceful folk that reside in a land known as the Shire. I think that's an interesting way they've decided on putting it. They must have done some tweaking in, although I haven't seen a ChatGPT. Doesn't matter. So, we had a bunch of characters. Alliance, Anna, Braven, Callian, Daffyd, Elenia, and Farron. And I think I've given most of them some kind of background, apart from the first one. Okay, right, cool. Nomadic family. Known for trading in spices. So one of the reasons, so apprentice is a blacksmith. Because they're a nomad, they might have some wilderness skills, but we'll see. Braven. What's Braven got? Male, grew up in a nomadic fishing community, grew up on fishing boats. So they, I feel, very caring environment, only child, straight, single. Okay, very short, flat nose, heavy set, copper red hair. Tattoos of a stylized leg of roasted meat. I like it. Very cool. I used the one of the Arcana books for this, didn't I? I don't know where I've put them. I've hidden them in a pile somewhere. So they might be useful. So because we're going to be hexcrawling, there might be some need for hunting and also navigation. So what I've got is I remember watching Bandits Keep at some point doing Wilderness Adventure. And in Wilderness Adventure, kind of each time you move, you roll a d6. And the result kind of indicates how you move. And this is to kind of like simulate that kind of inverted commas getting lost. And I think, yeah. And so if a character has a skill, like would be a navigating in forests or navigating in plains or on the ocean, then I would give them a +1, right? Only probably like 1+1, right? Maybe, and then like if you've got a guide, then another plus, etc., etc., etc. If you know the land, all that kind of thing, right? So that's one of the reasons why I'm checking over their backgrounds again, and also just to refamiliarise ourselves with these characters. It's been a wee while. Been a wee while indeed. And nomadic family background and fishing community background are both pretty interesting. So it's Braven, Kellyanne. She's a magic user. We're all level 3, so that means we've all got 3 hit dice. So one of the weird, funny little things that I was going to play around with today is the notion of using hit dice instead of hit points, kind of like a war game. And we'll see how that fleshes out. Right? It might be rubbish, and we might just bin the idea. It might be really good, and we've revolutionised hit points in Dungeons and Dragons. Although I'm not really, because really it's just going back to chainmail. But don't let anyone know that. Daffyd, what do you got? Come back here, Daffyd. Stop hiding. She's a fighter. Verifier. They've been accused of killing a king. The truth. Alright, okay. The truth of this is up for debate. They now travel from place to place, attempting to clear their name. Raised in the slums, apprenticed. Both parents are dead. They're bi, and a widower. So they've already lost one partner. Scar, missing the last segment of their middle finger on their left hand, probably cut off by a thief guild or something, right? And then, but no travelling skills. Alenia, notes, thief, female, raised in nature, born out in a quiet country. They have little knowledge of towns and cities, so I think that definitely gives her the bonus to travel, right? Mother is dead, father is alive, childhood was mostly unsupervised. They gallivanted about the forest. They have 3 siblings. They're in love, and they're hetero. Boring hetero. Average height, button nose, cultish and gangly build. I looked up what cultish was. It's basically gangly. Dark brown hair, pink eyes. Oh yeah, I started using the more exciting eye selections as well, didn't I? Notes. This one, Farron. They are born into a servile family for a royal house. They lived quietly, listening to the gossip. Their manners are fine. Their stealth abilities are finer. Interesting. Both parents are dead. Raised in a very caring environment. They have 8 siblings, and they're pan. Cool. Top bananas. How much food have we got laying around the group? 7 days worth of rations here. How much spare gold have they got? 8 gold pieces. Okay, well, I'm going to need to visit. I'm going to bounce for a few moments because needs are calling me. So I'll be right back. Don't run away. Don't have too much fun whilst I'm off. Yeah? Cool? Yeah? Good. Okay. And almost back. Now I'm back. Woohoo! Woohoo! So yeah, what else we got laying around? I never rolled for, because these are all supposed to be level 3. I don't think I've rolled for any magic items for them. Oh no, I think I have. Elven Cloak and Boots. So we have got magical items. Cool. So another thing that I'm going to do with, because my problem with so far has been that kind of running out and death by attrition of the parties. So this party is going to have a half dozen torchbearers with them, who in case of death will be replacement level 1 characters, right? So that by and large will be our Deus Ex Machina for replacing party members if necessary. I also have like a massive stack of level 3 characters that I've got ready for doing the Isle of Terror. So that'll be fun. So we might take some in. Anyway, what else was I going to do? Well, I was going to go like this. So to show some of my goodies of late. There. So well, this is the system. This is for basic fantasy, and I think that's fine. I think this will be fine. I do also have, if I don't like those tables, I'm pretty sure there's a hexcrawling solution in here somewhere. Adventures of the outdoors. I should remember there's something being laying around here, but the other thing, of course, I've already got is I can't see them. Where are they hiding? Alright, something that I did get delivered. Oh, here it is. Where did I put those books? Let's just go over here. Let's have a quick look. That's the Arcana and Thingamajiggy book. There we are. We've got these. I need the player's guide. Ow. These are kind of interesting, but probably not for this. Let's get that all out of the way. Cool. I was watching a really cool channel the other day. Coach something or other. I left a comment on one of their things. It was cool. Let's close OpenAI. I just want to remember so that I can go, you should go look at them, they're really interesting. Far better than the nonsense you get here. Change to my dungeon slime. And then oh, Yam's got another video coming. Yeah, Yam's doing her new reveal tomorrow? No, Saturday. So I'm looking forward to that because she's great. Alright, that's it. Legends and Dice Cafe is the name of the channel. And yeah, they're new to being a ref, and they're doing lots of really interesting stuff, and they're reading lots of games. So yeah, cool. I like. But I was gonna go, yeah. Alright, yeah, nonsense I've got. So I'm pretty sure that in at least one of these, weirdly not in here, there'll be some kind of generators that we can use if we don't like. One of the things that you have, I kind of feel with the random thing, is how it then mixes with the what to explore next. As the party ventures outwards into new hexes, the GM or optionally a player can roll to determine the nature of the new location. One hex is equal to a 6. Okay, right. So these are going to be 6 mile hexes. which then of course messes with the D6 movement table, right? Because if they're 6 mile hexes, I've upset my little camera. If they're 6 mile hexes, you're going to travel 4 hexes a day? Probably. So that's like 3 miles an hour. 3 miles an hour by normally 8 hours. 16, 24. So that's 24 divided by 6, 4. Yeah. So if we're moving at a modest pace, we're not overloaded. We've got some mules. We've got some torchbearers. So we can move 4 hexes. So I mean, it doesn't mess up the thing. We just go a little bit shorter. So that's cool. Each hex has 3 components. It's terrain type, vegetation and water if present. This of course means when it is all snowy, I suppose. Do we have a weather table here? Because if not, I've got one somewhere else. Optional movement system, wilderness encounters, random caves? Yes. Random natural caves. To generate a cave, begin with 2 complete dice sets. Drop the dice all at once to determine the oh, right, yeah. It's going to be... We're going to have to faff about a bit. So this has also got a random dungeon generator in here. We're just going to play it by ear. Right. So, another thing we're going to do is... we're going to get over here. Ooh. What have we got in this little cupboard, you ask? Well, what I've got is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, got 5 of these little dudes. The colours don't matter. These were cheap, tacky, and for some reason came from Poland. And for some reason they've still got a back on them. I don't know if I'm supposed to be able to take this off, but I didn't manage to. So that is what it is. Something else. Oh yes, look at this. This is great. Ta-da-da. Wait a minute, I've just noticed that the camera's got an annoying grid over it. That's horrible. This is something that just annoys me about the camo software. Whenever it does a patch, it sticks this stupid new overlay over it, and I'm always like, can we just not have? Can it be? And when you're just looking at it like in Thingy, this grid thing, you can't really see it. Why is there a grid thing? How do I see that? That's not what I want, because that's got a thing on it. No. I want one with nothing on it. Nothing, I tell you. Oh, it's that button, is it? That's the one. Well, there you go. See, I've only just realised how. Well, I'm sure I figure that every time I get this stupid thing reinstalled. So that's cool. I was at the Final Fantasy Fan Fest over the weekend, so that was fun. I also got this delivered, so this is super fun. Though I don't know if I'm ever going to have an opportunity to play it. So this is Girl by Moonlight. These are the little playbooks, so these are for if you just want to turn up and start playing a game straight away. So these are like yeah, so we kind of have characters and whatnot. So there's one of these for each of the 4 settings. So for typical magical girl one, the Madoka style one, very cool. The kind of lane. That's the one with paprika, not paprika. Well, yeah, the more kind of surreal setting, and the space opera setting. So these are all kind of one-off quick starts, so that you can get started quickly. Hence, yeah, quick start. Sorry, I'm an idiot. And then the main book, which I think is quite pretty. And then, yeah, nice art, nice pictures. It's nice to finally get the proper book. Nice inlay, all very good. I like it. I am pleased. One day I will be able to find someone to play with. Maybe, probably not. Let's be frank. So that's that. Let me find somewhere to put this. Here? No, that's all that stuff is in the way. What else did I get? No. That's Star Trek stuff. We already know about that. That's my tablet. We don't need to know about that. It's just full of manga. Mythic. We probably don't need to know about that. So let's put that over here as well. I need to do a massive reorganisation of my room. Oh, this is what I've been doing at the weekend. A nice old school 2nd edition copy of Shadowrun. Lots of room for that there. And the other thing that I got recently is I got 2nd edition of Cyber Generation. So we don't need to use the ugly PDF quite as much. Stick that there for now. And I don't need this in front of me. So, cool. Top bananas. Oh yes, and this is the other thing, another thing I got. I got this. So this is like a small, low-level thing. What I like about it is it's kind of pull out. So maps, pictures, good stuff. Yeah, I like everything about this. It's very nice. So that's cool. I shouldn't do that, it doesn't work. Don't really know what it's about. Maybe a game to play on the Halloweens. Not that I really care about Halloweens, not being an American. And so all the American silliness doesn't really, doesn't really register in my world. That's my hat. I don't need my hat. I don't need my Xbox controller. Because as I said, I'm sure I mentioned it at some point, I've been playing far too much, far too many racing games. Forza came out and that kind of sucked up a whole bunch of my time. How far down does this go? Alright, okay, cool. So, okay, that is the bottom hex. Cool. And how far over? So, is it possible to pull that up a bit and then back a bit? And maybe get more of these side hexes in? Kind of, okay. So, I got loads of junk all over the place. Let's take this. Yes, you. Right, and we're going to kind of see how this goes. Okay, one over here, behind me. Let's try it a different way. Ah! It's gone. It's gone. This is a terrible plan. This doesn't work at all. Where did it go? Oh no. Where did the small round bit of plastic disappear to? It could be literally anywhere. I bet you all sat there and went, that's, oh look, there's that dice that I lost that other time. What a nuisance. What a silly, there we go. Oh, I've got more of them. It doesn't matter. We'll find it one day. We'll be going around our floor and be like, what on earth? Oh, there it is. It's a long way. How did you get all the way back there? Now. Bonk. 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 Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to put... we're going to go... I've not got my... Oh, there. That'll do. So we're going to put a little marker down here. We're going to put one here. We're going to put one, so it's here. We're going to put one there. And we're going to put one here. So that's areas of interest. Now I think we're also going to need, well, let's just decide on a starting city location, right? Ooh. This hex down here will be our starting city. Well, our starting town. Cool. Top bananas. Town name, maybe. Town name. I should probably have used thingy. Oh goodness. Let's go straight to fantasy name generator, shall we? Yes. Let's. Places and locations. T for town. S for settlements. Tower names. No. S for settlements. No. Places and locations. Banks, blacksmiths, casinos, civilizations, city and town names. Okay. Let's pick. What do we want? Arabian Peninsula towns, African towns, Aboriginal towns, European towns, Halfling town names. Those sound delicious. Necropolis names. Oceania, Roman, stuff for Romans. I always found that very funny. The entire how often does this man think of Rome thing? That's silly. There's one here just called town names. We could click on that and see what we get. Well, let's call it Tarin. So Tarin. And there are some nice random city generators and whatnot, but we don't need them right now. So we start off with a town with 6 miles range. It means that technically you can see one hex around you. So how are we going to represent planes? If we just leave the hex, no, because then the hex is empty. That can be planes. Straight line. That's planes. So we've got planes all around. And let's go to the party for a second. Party, doobity doobity doo. Close. For some reason, the party overview tracker doesn't work, which upsets me on several different levels. I don't know why it doesn't work, but it makes me sad. Let me make sure that you can see it whilst I'm complaining about it. There you go. Yeah, this thing. Here. Yeah, it doesn't track any. It's very irritating. It upsets me. Well, it makes my life more difficult, which is a larger problem, I suppose. I really should pick who's who with little models, but there's 7 of them. 7 of them? You know, I got 7 little models of little people. Do I have 7 little models of little people that I can remember which one's which? Probably not. Let's get some. I need 7, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But I like them all so much, I'm going to grab a few more just so that we have some spares. And when we go, no, I don't like that one. That one doesn't look like anybody. And some of them are painted, some of them aren't painted, some of them are halfway painted. Where's that one? That's that one. Let's go back to here. Let's go back to here. Camo. Yoink. There we go. Dude with a funny arm and a hammer. Lady wizard. Have I got any wizards? You are a cleric. You are a a widow, so that would imply that you're a lady cleric. Doesn't say, right? Clericy cleric. It's not a cleric. That could be a cleric. Except for we've got an axe, which isn't very clericy. You know, maybe this one could be the cleric because we've got a hammer. Okay. We've got a wizard and a cleric. So the cleric is Arnar. We're going to be real challenged to remember which ones these are. Maybe I should create an aid to memory out of something. Yes, I will once we've decided. So, I saw these really cool circular kind of hoop things that you could put over the bases. That could be an idea. So, Aranar, because they've got a hammer. Braven's just a straight out fighter. One of them had a magic axe, didn't they? Inventory. So you've got a warhammer. You, Braven, have a sword and a polearm. And a short bow. That could be Braven. And we don't have a polearm, but we've got a sword. Okay. Braven. And then we need... I mean, they don't look anything like them, but, you know, we'll just try and... Dafed, she's a fighter. She has got... he has got... Infantry, polearm, spear +1. You have a spear. Have I got another one with a spear? Have you got a spear? You've got a spear. Except for you've got the face of a skeleton. And I don't think that they're a skeleton. So no, you get to be the other skeleton. That's cool. This is cool. So that's Daffod. Oh, we've also got a battle axe. Oh, that'll do. Battle axe. So that's Daffod. Daffod. Aranar. Braven. Cool. Cool. I don't know how tiny these look on the screen. What? Oh no, that's just because this is massively behind for time, isn't it? Yes. Yes, good. I'll just have it up to date on time. And zoom in. Zoom in. Just so I can check to see what it all looks like. No, on 1080 it looks really blurry. Oh no, we're back. Okay, that's fine. Technical problems, humans. Technical problems. I don't know why you humans make a world so full of them, but you do love a good old technical problem, don't you? Okay, Callian. Callian, wizard. That could be her. What spells has she got? Charm person, light, read magic, invisibility. Pretty cool. I remember that because I've had so many wizards with rubbish spell sets, I picked her spells. Alliance. I did some work for Alliance once. She doesn't have a history because I think she was just my test character. What weapon she got? She got a sword and a halberd. He's got a lovely beard. He's got a silly hat. We'll give. Shall we? That one will do, I suppose. Actually, no. Let's give that can be her. So that's Alliance. Elenia, they, Alliance, she has inventory. Short bow, spear, sword. Yeah, we can use her. And we can stick a sword on her back at some point. Not a sword, bow. Yeah. Oh, she's got leather armor +1. That's useful. Let's give her that. Not leather armor +1. And a ring of protection. Yes. Baron is another fighter. They've got polearm, sword, and axe +1. Have we got an angry looking dude with an axe? Notes. 1 second. Let's check with notes. MB. Yeah. We can use fighter. We can use just because I've pulled it out and I think it's quite pretty, that one. So okay, so we've got, looking back through them. So this is Farron, easy to do because we have the latest one. This is Elenia, who's a thief. This one is going to be not Alliance because it's got an axe. Who are you? I don't know. We'll see. We'll come back to it. Callian. This is where I'm going to need this visual aid to who's who, isn't it? I need a little bit of paper. I need to get this. Yeah? We'll get this. And I need a pen. Oh, that's useful. I've got a pen. Oh, you never got to see me using this. This is very interesting. This is from first edition AD&D. The idea of having speeds and movement numbers and all that kind of stuff. So let's just go. We've got Farron. We've got so Farron. We picked this one, right? I think we did. That's Farron. I think. Is it? Yes. No? Probably. It is now. That's Farron. We've got Elenia, who's the thief. So that's Elenia. We've got Callian. It's a really good pen. Even with a bobble on it. Just get out of my way for a moment. Got the donkey, Mr. Smiley Face. I think that's what he was called. I've kind of written this in the most awkward way possible, haven't I? Farron, Elenia, the Alliance, A-L-L-L-I, A-N-S-E. We don't know. Could be any of them. That one's got an axe and a light, and she's using a sword and a halberd, so it definitely isn't her. And Farron had inventory. Oh, Farron had the axe. That's Farron. Okay. Next, Alliance, sword, halberd. Actually, I think that was probably them, but it's okay. I prefer this model anyway. It's more finished. Okay. Farron, Callian, Elenia. Alliance has a sword, and it's funny how few I actually have just swords. Have any of you got swords and look kind of good? You've got a beard. Not exactly what I'm looking for. You are a monster and have a ginormous hammer, which is almost there, but not quite. Cool. So what I was intending on using a lot of these figures for was the Mortborg skirmish game. Anyway, Alliance, shield, sword. She can get that one. I might also head over to using some of these again instead, but you know, mileage varies. Alliance, Callian, Braven, sword, short bow, polearm. Braven. We were going to use this one. Then we need, who are the last two? Aranar, and the last one, Daffyd. Daffyd. And Aranar had the warhammer, and Daffyd had the big old axe. Cool. That took us a little while. So let's get all these out of the way. I might, and you know, as noted, might replace some of them at a later date. So here's our glorious collection. Whatever angle I put them at, they don't look too good. So, Elenia, Farron, Callian. We've also been limited by the paint collection that I've got. Alliance. This is actually a Napoleonic head on top of a Frostgrave body. Daffyd, Braven, and Aranar. So they all have. They've all got riding mules. Because that makes life a little bit easier. And this is town. So, and I'm going to put these somewhere where we're not going to lose them. Ho ho ho. And we haven't lost them. Ah! There we go. Cool. So, they're there. I'm going to see them. I'm going to remember which one's which. I got my little horsey on the map. Yeah, off we're going to go. Finally, at long last. So these X's mark areas of interest. So, I mean, this one looks like the most obvious one to go to, doesn't it? Try and get it out of the way, because I mean that's only half a day? Just over half a day. So we're going to do two things. First of all, we're going to get my little rolling pot. Come over here, rolling pot. No, not to roll those kinds of things. No, to roll dice. Terrible humans. And today is National Intersex Awareness Day. This one doesn't have the intersex logo on it, but it's good to know. Bear in mind, intersex people are as valid as everybody else, and they are loved, even if it is by a strange little slime. And so we roll the dice. We get +1 because one of them knows how to travel. I also think another +1 because it is like within eye shot of town. 4 + 2, that's 6, which means we're going to be able to go straight there. 1, 2. So into this hex. Now, this is where we get to roll a little bit of a rolly roll. Not this page. Not this page. This page, right. So if the current hex is plains, roll a d12 to find out what the next hex is. d12, wherefore art thou 12-sided dice. There you are. 1. Mountains. Okay, that's quite the change in terrain. I'm gonna have to move myself so I'll go down into this little corner, aren't I? Let's just move me. Hello. So we're heading for that. Oh, transition, because I'm away. Sorry, hello, look, I'm in a really terrible place. Right, so we're on this hex, which is mountains, which is quite entertaining. Also, roll 1d6 to see if there are encounters this day. Encounters on a 1 to 2, so that's not a 1. So no encounters for the day. So because that's mountains, it takes double the move, but we don't have to go very far. So we trek through the mountains and we get here. So we're moving from mountains to sea. An 11. Plains. So this is plains again. So we've discovered one of his areas of interest, and what we're going to do, let's just go through here, see if there's anything particularly exciting. Dungeon areas, random natural caves, towns, ruins, caves, tombs, natural resources, settlements, etc, etc, etc. D20. 5. Caves. I think in this instance you're more talking about, well, this is caves, not tombs. Cool. Well, the general terrain and possible points of interest newly established, we will now determine if a monster was encountered in the wilderness. Hex roll 1d6 or 1 indicates random. We've already done that. Cool. So we have discovered a network of caves is this area of interest. So now what I'm thinking about is opening up the Tome of Adventures. Drive through RPG. Tome of Adventures. Tome of Adventures design, even, by Matt Finch. So if we turn off enable scrolling, because we don't ever really need scrolling. What have we got? Locations. The overview approach. Are simple alternatives for each other. What else have we got? What could be here? What do we think we're looking at? They're caves. So, item-based missions, individual missions. So these are the missions. I've got one for dungeon design somewhere. Villain paths. This is all very nice. Yeah. Let's go back to the master table again. Let's just have a quick gander. Has this got my? It does have my details on it. So I'm not going to share this document at all because it's got my name down at the bottom. Mr. DS Slime. Evoke catastrophic events. Just bear that one in mind. Find food. Gain favor of another villain. Summoning creatures. Chapter 2, monsters. We like monsters. Heads, doors and archways. Dungeon areas. Generating riddles. What's this? Okay, introduction, quick inspiration. Dungeon areas, arranging areas. Transition between dungeon areas and connecting the lines. That's a very 5-room dungeon. So I had a dice roll that I was also going to roll for the dungeon type. So actually, if we go here and we go combat, random monsters, travel rolls, dungeon scale. So I've got a d6 roll here. 2. So that is a 5-room dungeon. It's only little. So we could just use a 5-room dungeon. And if we want to use a 5-room dungeon, well then there's random 5-room dungeon. There's a tool for that. Is it this one? No, not that one. There used to be a really cool one, and it made like a really cool map. Not this, but that's quite cool. Dungeon type, temple or shrine. Click to make no. What you want is treasures, layer, probably a layer. Door 6. Yeah, this will probably do. But let's make sure that it has content, monster, pet or allied creature. Has it got a description of the monster? So this is a really cool site. Let me just it's a random Hexcrawl site. It's very good. But this doesn't give you occupants unless pegs and blankets are a sufficient obstacle for this group of people, which I don't think they are. So not this one. I'm generally not a huge fan of 5-room dungeons, but random dungeon. Is this it? No. 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 That one? Obsidian Portal. No. Not you. So what I really want, and maybe one day I'll make my own, is a book of dungeons, right? Dungeon floors with, you know, just for stuff that's in them, as opposed to like an adventure module, or because I've got one which is a book of layers, not layers, a book of tombs. But it'd be really quite cool to have a collection of dungeons, right? So, if we go here, transition between dungeon areas, connecting lines. Nature of transitions, corridor basics, descriptions, unusual features, bridges, materials, archway, master table, and of course the irony now is that I spent all this time getting this table set up, and the thing's so close, and we've already found this one. And we're just going to go in and build and populate it, right? We should build and populate this here dungeon. It's a 5-room dungeon. Let's get all this noise out of our way. All the noise out of the way. Donk, donk, donk. Ta-da! Get out of my way. So, 5-room dungeon. Really good if I didn't have all that junk on top of that book. That grid book. See, I shouldn't have gone for that one. I knew it was going to cause me a problem. Is this a dot notebook or is this... No, that's a lined notebook. No one wants a lined notebook. That's a dot notebook. Here we go. What are these? Alright. Dungeons. So it's a cave network. So that means kinda raggedy. Pencil. Pencil. Oh, you can't see the book whilst it's up there. Whoa. That's interesting. I'm going to need to do something about the height of vision. So that's really not very... Yeah. Okay, that's probably a bit more like it. Pencil. I've ended up needing far more utensils than I'd assumed I was going to need. You a pencil? You're a blunt pencil. Are you a pencil? You're a pencil with no clickiness in you. You're all pens. How about over here? I know I've got... Oh, there you are. There's a pencil. So I've got this little book. So also the thing about that mountain that we discovered is that we've not searched it, right? So there could be something in those mountains as well. It's just that it takes, you've got to spend time searching for hexes because, of course, they're 6 mile hexes, not 1 mile hexes. So I've got my wee little side notebook, but 5-room dungeon. The Caves of Malignant Terror, right? The Caves of Malignant Terror. So that means there's probably something quite nasty living in here. I've got an abomination table that I made the other day. Random monsters, abominations. Did I make an abomination table? I did. Let's roll a d12, a d10, so we can find out what abomination lives in this. 1. Werewolf. A pack of werewolves, because I think werewolves live in groups, which means we're going to have a wolfy themed dungeon. Also, we've got bestial ecosystems as well. Does this have... Not you. Does this have... werewolves? It's got lycanthropes, yeah. Page 100. Page 100. Things that are known. They can change between an animal and a human in a cycle governed by the... governed most frequently by the moon. They have a vulnerability to silver. A shape-shifting transmutable condition. Cool. Anything else? Nothing else really very exciting on here. Let's check. Player tomb. So it's a werewolf lair, which is interesting. I normally don't. Yeah, if we kind of werewolves live, as much as they possibly can, hidden away from humans, because humans are humans, and humans murder everything that isn't another human. I presume here it's under lycanthrope as well. Yes, page 80. Page 80. Let's have a little read about werewolves. Page 80. Lycanthrope. Shape changes with human and animal forms. In human forms have physical characteristics reminiscent of the associated animal type. Mundane damage immunity. In animal form can only be harmed by silver, weapons or magic. Language in human form can speak normally. In animal form can only speak with animals of the associated type. Armor not used because it hinders their shape changing. Yeah. Summon animals can summon 1 to 2 animals of the associated type. Okay. Devil swine. Wolfbane, if hit, must save versus poison or fear and terror. Reversion, if killed, a lycanthrope reverts to its human form. I think that's only true if the lycanthrope has converted from being a human, right? Because you could get werewolves that were originally wolves, and they won't turn back into a wolf. They won't turn back into a human. They turn back into a wolf. That's one of those, I guess, one of those things to bear in mind. Werewolves, semi-intelligent pack hunters, AC 5, 2d6. So there'll be 2d6 werewolves in this layer. So that's 9 werewolves in the lair. And I think, so that's a lot of them. So that means there's also a leader, who's a 5 hit dice monster. So let's just make some little notes. This is now turning into a how to make a little adventure. So we've got 9 werewolves. And they kind of like stalk the local area, right? Which is why people don't live around these ways. 9 werewolves. This takes them up to 10, right? 1 werewolf leader. Here's the question: will they have normal wolves with them? I think there's a 60% chance that they'll have a pack of wolves with them. 67, so that's too high. I reckon there's a 40% chance that they'll have some direwolves. 18 direwolves. D D D D D D D D D for dire wolves, wolves. Or maybe that'll be under W for wolf, and then dire. We'll see. A B C D D R D R D R's. What's D R's? DJ D O. Deep One, Demonic Knight, Dervish, Dark Creeper. No. So W. W comes W X Y Z. Very close to the end. W H W O. Direwolf. Large, savage, semi-intelligent wolves dwell in caves, mountains, and forests. AC 6. Hit dice 4 + 1. Training, at the referee's discretion. Captured cubs can be trained. And how many are there? 2d4. Ironically, fewer than there are werewolves. But D4s. Where are you, D4s? There's one. And where's another? Well, come to me, D4. Come to me. Where be thee hiding? There's another one. I mean, there are a lot of D4s in here, I promise. 3, 6 direwolves. A lot of direwolves as well. Right, so it's a layer. So 10 foot squares in here. So we're gonna have an entryway that descends, or an initial entryway, an obvious opening, and there are like bones and stuff, okay, at the entrance. We're then gonna have like a master chamber here. Like 3 exits. Maybe we'll put a kind of we'll have like a little pool of noxious water here, right? Pool of water. Cool. So we've got a pool of water. We're going to have ourselves a little around here. Right. And this will open up into a room here. Well, not a room, but a cavern here. This will then continue over here, and we'll have a kind of room here, which then goes into Let's have a little opening here. This one can go over to here. Well, really, we should have a bit more curve into these walls, because in OSR, of course, if you break line of sight, you can get away from the monster. So we want to be able to do that. And we'll have another big old room here. Why are rooms so big? Well, A, they're caves, so we're not as fussy. And B, because they're more interesting to have fights in, right? Even in old school settings. So, and then 1, 2, 3. And a final kind of big chamber here. Right. The massive chambers. Maybe these should just be 5 foot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Whatever. It'll be fun. Werewolves can move around a lot. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. Now, I'm going to go, is there an alternate entrance into each of these rooms? Have I got post-it notes laying around within? I do. Post-its. And L. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. 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 Where come from? Here we go. Alien 9. I believe that's an anime that I want to watch. Right. Oh, goodness. The most important thing, and the reason why we're always going to be out here, is what is the werewolf and the direwolf treasure code. So the direwolf doesn't have any treasure, regardless, so they're uninteresting. Treasure code C. What is in treasure code C? C. Those are monsters. Those are random monster tables. Those are encounters. Treasure C. 1,000 gold pieces on average. That's not really very much. Okay. So I'm going to reduce these dice rolls by 20%, which will increase the chance of us getting something. So there's I'm going to increase percentage by 20%. So there's a 40% chance of 1d12 times 1,000 copper pieces. Ooh, how exciting! There's 1d12 of copper pieces. D12. The one that you care about least. 2,000 copper pieces in here. So there's 2,000 copper pieces we need to spread about. Right. Next, we've got 50% chance of 1d4 silver pieces. Nope. 30% chance of 1d100. See, I think these guys have been out robbing longer anyway. So I'm going to use D instead. Alright. Yeah. So there's an 80% chance of 1d6 gold pieces. That's definitely hit. So that's 1d6 gold pieces in here. 4,000 gold pieces spread throughout the layer. There's a 50% of 1d8 gems. No. There's a 50% chance of 1d8 jewelry. And then I'm going to put 2 magic items in here anyway. And a potion. Oh, look, so arbitrary. Yep, exactly. You've got to give people magic items, otherwise they die. Right? And they're not very exciting. Because that's what it's all about, right? Magic items. It's all about magic items. If they came in here and we only got 4,000 gold pieces, like, woohoo! We just had to fight, which, you know, I know is kind of like, oh, but it's, you know, that's part of the thing. But, yeah. And I think in this first room we'll have the dire wolves. Probably 4 out of the 6 dire wolves in here. 4 we'll probably have some kind of trap. And then we'll have the werewolf leader in here. And we'll have probably a different kind of monster in one of these. So in 2, yeah, let's see what weird kind of creature we might have in 2. Probably nothing off of that list, because that list was made for a different purpose. Some kind of, well, it'd have to be something that the werewolves are willing to live with. Oh my word, not one of those. I know, some kind of spider. When all else fails, pick a spider, right? What kind of spider? What kind of spider? Ooh, something horrible. All the spiders are horrible. Giant spiders. Giant black widow? Giant black widow. Number appearing 1d3. 1d3 worth of giant spiders. So 2 black widows, right? And 2 black widows. Anything interesting about them? They've got a U treasure type. U? What's U? What have we got in U? Itchy nose is what we've got. This is impressive given them a giant ball of slime. Potions. Oh, there's a potion in here. So, what potion? 5. Clairvoyance. It's interesting. Clairvoyance potion. Okay. But not what I was after. I was after the U magic list. Not U magic, U treasure. U. No, 160. Yeah, that's fine. 10% chance of copper pieces. No. 10% chance of silver pieces. No. 5% chance. No. 5% chance. No. 2% chance. Don't care. I'm going to stick one in there. Because that's a kind of generous god that I am. So what page is this? It's page 71. Right, so let's get this out. So, page 71. So this is for dungeon. Dungeon, page 71. Just a stock. So we've got 2,000 silver pieces, 4,000 gold pieces, a potion of clairvoyance. Then we've got 3 magic items, one of which is in the monster's room. So, we're using X because we have got the level 3 characters above. So, D100 on the right hand table. So, it's a 95, so a sword. 99, so a weapon. Wait, was that a 9 or a 6? I think that's probably more likely to have been 69, isn't it? So that's a scroll. So a sword and a scroll and a 90. 2 swords and a scroll. Wow, that's a set of options, right? So 2 swords and a scroll. Let's do the scroll first. Personally, I prefer, particularly early on, or I'm hiding it. Personally, early on, I prefer getting armor. But you know, transition. But we are where we are. 2 swords. And I quite like miscellaneous items as well. There's lots of fun stuff here. And I've got some other books of magic items as well. So, because it's so small, there's nothing really exciting going on in this dungeon, but that's good. We can do with not very exciting. We've also got a bunch of adventures that we can pull as well for different areas. Rods, staves, and wands. It'd be nice to get a rod, a stave, or a wand. Alright, so we've got a scroll on map. Ideally, I want a 35. Come on, 35. I got an 84. Treasure map 5. Okay. Treasure map 5. So that means, I don't know if you've, so a treasure map 5 means that there's, where it leads to, there's 3 magic items and 1 potion, right? So we'll have to think about where that is, or a way of expressing that. I'd much rather have had some magic potions, but we've got to find them first as well. Could just die. Weapons, swords. So one of them is, come back here, 96. Wow. Okay. Sword plus 3. Right down to the sword plus 3. As good as it gets, pretty much. Right. I keep reading. Am I reading a 60 as a 90? Don't know. But we're stuck with it now. 15. 15 is a sword plus 1. Sword plus 1. Okay, so room 1. Room 1. What's room 1 going to be? It's a question for you and for me. Oh, and which one? Should we put the... Ooh. I think the sword plus 3. I mean, I think the head werewolf should be using the sword plus 3, right? Yeah, lead werewolf using that. I think this will be in the Black Widow nest, and this will be in the treasure map is in a chest in Leader's Hall, right? That sounds about right. Enchanted swords. Enchanted swords specifically specify a bonus for attack. Right, so that's all of the magic items. Okay. So, if we go to this little book over here, doors. There aren't any doors, it's a cave. So, that's something to bear in mind. Corridors. Bridges, archways, distinctive elements. Normal doors. Normal doors and unusual features. Normal doors and unusual shapes. Normal doors. More normal doors. Waterway connections. Oh, that's interesting. I'll bear that in mind. Teleportation. Teleportation devices. That's something to bear in mind. Okay. Natural caverns. So this is all basically a whole set of tables for generating the room. Arrangements of room caverns within the area. Yeah, I've got a very boring design of rooms compared to some of the designs that I could have done, but you know. Area names involving water. Area names involving tombs. Area names involving tombs. Involving imprisonment. Involving worship. Involving bugs. Interesting. Involving plants. Placing landmarks. It's dungeon landmarks. That's exciting. Far more exciting for when we find a dungeon that isn't tiny. Containers for special rooms. So this is where there's 2 Black Widows living. I reckon that there should probably be a secondary entrance into here. Maybe via a hole in the ceiling, right? Hole. In ceiling. Ceiling hole. It's probably a name for a ceiling hole. And this is one of the ways that the spiders get their dinners. And I reckon that this is probably blocked off with so they can get in and out of this hole and hunt in the plains above, kind of catching cows and stuff. And they can't come this way down into the werewolf leader's thing because there's all these boulders in the way, and that's difficult. There's going to be some traps in here. Have we got random traps? Wizard's Research, Curse of Water, Guild Riots. Guild Riots? Oh, that sounds exciting. Because it's a cave. Oh. So in this area, let's see. Furniture unusual. 8. A bed. 98. 98. That's not particularly unusual. So in room 1, upturned beds. Containers. Not very excited about containers. Liquids. Lighting. Any lighting? An 18. Charcoal brazier incense. By charcoal braziers. burning incense. That's an interesting thought. We'll think about that when we get to it. So R1. Major mechanisms of process. NPC interactions. Pillars. Plants. Unusual plants. Okay. Let's see. 76 trees. Okay. Description 39 has abnormally large plant part. Okay, roll next on column. 31 has unusually large flowers. Special effect 69 has strange pattern of colours, striped, spotted. So there's like a tree with unusually large flowers. A stripy tree. A stripy tree with unusually large flowers. Maybe that's why the werewolves are here. Anything else on this table? Looks kind of interesting. Sounds? Probably just for sounds of dogs. No statues. No thrones. No water landmarks. What comes next method? Ow. Tricks. No, we don't want tricks. We want traps. Architectural tricks. Bargaining and persuasion tricks. Master table of tricks. Tricks. Magic tricks. Tricks. That's a funny idea. Names for games. Types of games. Written tricks. Diseases. Traps. Here we go. D100 for basic traps. So this is for room 4. 1. Adhesive on surface. Okay. So room 2 is reasonably simple, right? It's like a cavernous, pitch black, besides light through the ceiling hole, yeah. Cobwebs are everywhere. Cobwebs everywhere. And yeah. 3 in 6 chance of surprise. Also 3 in 6 chance of getting stuck in web. That'll suck. So room 2, room 3. What's going to be room 3? Room 3 is on that side, so that's going to have some werewolves in it, right? It's going to have a chest with some gold. It's going to chest. It's going to have how many werewolves? We've got 9 werewolves, right? So it's going to have 3 werewolves in there. 3 werewolves, 2 in human form, 1 in wolf form. It's going to be 3 in 5 with the leader. They'll all be in wolf form, I think. And there's a 1 in 6 chance. 1 in 6 chance of encountering 3 wandering werewolves, right? Just a note there for the, so that's kind of like the random monster in this layer. It's going to be wandering werewolves. Because if you don't wander into them, those werewolves are assumed to be out there hunting, right? So room 4 has an adhesive on surfaces. Okay, that's interesting. So adhesive on surfaces, mechanical conceal. So no, it's not a complicated trap. It's pretty straightforward. Gases. I don't think it needs gases. I mean, I reckon, yeah, just the adhesive trap. The whole idea is you get stuck to it, and then the werewolves can come and eat you at their leisure, right? That's probably the plan there. Yeah, that sounds good. So the plan there is that you walk in here, you maybe it takes like a little, you know, it's a maybe you get kind of like there's a liquid on the floor, and it's, you know, it's like kind of two chemicals that mix together, and then they'll stick, right? So you could say like there's chemical 1 over here, there's chemical 2 over here, and then you'll stick kind of like around here, or whenever you get out of these chemicals, you'll stick to the ground. Okay, yeah, adhesive trap on surface. Okay, cool. That sounds like a terrible way to go. So I'm happy with that. General dungeon dressing. $61. Poo. Weird dungeon dressing. Okay, well, I think that is this dungeon, right? Room 5 has kind of a chest, a couple of chests, and all the dudes. So the interesting thing is that werewolves are intelligent, so it might be possible to have something else happen here. And yeah, okay. Well, with 15 minutes, we're not going to raid this dungeon, are we? Oh, good evening. Hello. How are you doing? So yeah, that's a dungeon made. Yeah, so we'll raid this dungeon next time. We'll get in there, we'll steal all their stuff, or maybe make great friends with some werewolves, and it'll be fun. How are you doing, Pio? Still enjoying the giant crane machine? Is it good? I'll presume it's good. I'm thirsty. I really should. It's been a while since I've done this, so I really should have some more prep ready for bits and pieces, like, you know, liquid. I am. Well, I've pretty much finished. This is the dungeon. Like I was saying, I mean, what I should keep on doing is I was starting to kind of like build this book up as like a collection of dungeons. Uh-oh, I almost launched these books into space. So I probably should get back to kind of like filling this thing out with more dungeons, like so. That's probably a good idea. But yeah, exactly. Yeah, how can you get sick of crane machine? I know, I've got no idea how you could get sick of a crane machine. I mean, I reckon pretty quickly. Isn't like, I mean, there's not very much challenge, is there? If it's like, if you're not having to pay lots of money to use it. What's this? This is an office. Oh right, yeah. So I was doing a cyborg one here for a minute. So yeah. Tell you what else I've been doing recently. I'm reading lots of manga. Well, recently, since when? I don't know. For the last few weeks, I think I found a new channel that was recommending lots of interesting stuff. And alright, so this is actually, you're supposed to use these whilst doing the dungeon crawl, not whilst doing the hex crawls. You can change the difficulty. Also different shapes of items. Yes, well, still, I mean, yeah, pot noodles. Yeah, I mean, you're still not having to pay for it, are you? So, yeah, what is this? Oh yeah, I have this idea for a world that I was building at one point. Because there's kind of like Hollow World, which is not that kind of Hollow World, a different kind of Hollow World. As if the world is hollow, not Hollow Live. And what was this? Yeah. And the idea is that the world, so unlike the hollow world, which is hollow, this world would also be kind of hollow, except, you know, layered, more like a Matrosky world. The second one, hollow, not hollow. But it didn't matter. It was fine. I didn't go on with it. No one was interested, so I gave up. Simple as that. So that's a dungeon to raid. Oh goodness, I've got other little dudes. So where are they? So I bought a bunch of figures. They were cheap. Well, cheapish. 30 quid for a box. So these dudes, a big old box of orcs. So I got orcs and a big old box of little goblins. So I got goblins. So you can bet your bottom dollar that there's going to be something involving orcs and goblins at some point. If only because I got lots of them. And something else that I was thinking about. There's a bunch of games that I want to run, but oh yeah, I got this horrifying mess of a game. Yeah, which I'm never going to run, but I do have it, which is quite funny. You can paint them too. I can paint them very slowly, and I'm really bad at painting because I'm colourblind. So, but this is possibly the worst laid out role-playing game I've ever encountered in my entire life. Look at it. But I've got it, if nothing else. I definitely think they should have considered considered putting it into a slightly different format. Right. How many monsters are there in here? No. Goblin nonsense. Yes, mostly on Saturdays we paint stuff. Ogres, creatures, giant rats, killer bees, ropers, wolves. Why is the book so big? Because it's Japanese, and they do stuff in strange formats, right? So I think I'm not sure what the system was originally. I think it might be Sword. I don't think it's Sword World, but it could be Sword World. I think actually it is an adaptation of Sword World, isn't it? I'd have to double check. Anyways, yeah. Well, some other bits and pieces that I really want to do at some point is, where is it? Well, there's this one and there's this one. So these are books that I don't know when I picked them up. Oh, I do. I picked them up at Dragon Con. So there's Karen Dunn, which I think is very cool. So Karen Dunn is written by some Filipino creators, and it kind of uses Filipino folklore and mixes in a whole bunch of ideas from there. But I've not got around to it yet, but it could be fun. Could be good. It looks cool. It's kind of a weird system, but that's part of the joy of playing systems from other places. And the other one that I want to play at some point is Dragon Con, like the US one. No, way smaller. I think it's called Dragon Con. It might be Dragon Meat. Probably Dragon Meat. This is very what's the show called? The game is called, not the game, the anime. It's great. It's one of the best. But of course I can't remember. Witch Academia? That's it. Something like that. Kind of like the Wizarding game without all the transphobia. So yeah. This is cool, but I think this is really more of a game that I need to run as opposed to play with on solo play. But I like these two are both games that interest me in running in the not too distant future. And yeah, well, coming up is we'll do this dungeon tomorrow. We'll run the dungeon tomorrow and do some more exploring, right? So we didn't manage to explore very far, and we didn't manage to do the dungeon. But I expect next week, tomorrow, we'll do some more exploring and we'll knock this dungeon out. Fake anime fan. Yeah, I know. I'm an anime tourist now. It's the only way to be. So, where did we get to? We managed to travel a whole 2 hexes. Oh yeah, and I suppose, and we'll just remember which little miniatures do what and who are who. So here we go. We've got Aranar the cleric. We've got Braven the fighter. Daffyd the fighter. Callian the wizard. Alliance the fighter. Pharaoh the fighter. And Elenia the thief. So we'll keep these on their little pedestals so that I remember which one is which, just so that in our first fight they can all die and I will be vaguely annoyed again. That's what we'll do. And that'll be fun. So yes, sum total of the world that we managed to explore has been, yes, what did we explore? Oh, there we go, a whole 2 hexes. What can we say? There was one, I think that I am actually missing something though. I think, where did I just put that? Here it is. There we go. Places of interest. Right. Monsters. Stuff. I've gone backwards, haven't I? 7. Aha. 7. 5. 4. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 4. 3. 2. 1. So, yes. We didn't roll for forest, so we presume off of this we're talking grassland. So this wee hex is grassland. So this hex for mountains that we ran into would be, is it a D20 or a D12? It's a D12. Where do my D12s go? There it is. Mountains are 7. So from grassland, 7 is grassland again. Interesting for a mountain, but we'll presume that kind of like the stuff around it is grass. And this is grassland, this is grassland, this is grassland. So this hex is a plain, and so again, off of grassland, 3. Light forest. So this is light forest. Top bananas. No, my brilliant art there. So cool, top bananas. Well, P.O., thanks for joining us. I'm going to wrap up there, and we will continue. We'll actually get something done tomorrow. Less of me rambling, maybe. And a final suggestion. Probably not a great one. Reading a manga recently. I was going to talk about this. Welcome back, Alice. Interesting stuff. Read past the first episode and read the author's comments at the end of each book, because it's good stuff. Very interesting. I think it's well worth the time. And with that, you wonderful little humans. Oh, I've never heard of that. Yeah, I read it. I read it mostly yesterday whilst my internet wasn't working. No, not based on Alice in Wonderland. It's about It's about It's about three high school students who knew each other when they were children. One of them moves away and then comes back, and he comes back declaring that he's had enough of being a boy, but he's also not a girl. And it's about the relationship between those three in a way, but also what it is three reflections of the author themselves, right? So in the books, in when he's doing his kind of manga essay, he talks about how life is pretty easy, and then everyone puts the boy and the girl kind of stuff inside of you, and then stuff gets way less easy